When DPA designed these mics, I know they said they wanted to make them sound like the singer wasn't actually using a microphone. And listening back to the raw tracks, because I record all of our worship sets every weekend. Listening back to the raw tracks, I could totally tell what he meant by that, because it sounds like the singer's right in front of you singing.
Welcome back to Church Production. I'm Marcel Patillo. So when buying new gear for your church, there are some pieces of gear that are much easier to read on paper. You can kind of look over the specs and align them with what your church is looking for at the time. But with microphones, it gets a bit more complicated. And the information that you're given still makes it a little bit hard to dictate, will this sound good with my worship leader's voice? Will this sound good in our room? But recently we partnered with DPA and Summit Church in Durham, North Carolina, so you all could hear for yourselves if the DPA capsules are the right ones for your church. But before we get started, give this video a like and subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel.
My name is Keegan Pierce. I am the Associate Production Director at the Summit Church and the current front of house engineer at the Capitol Hills campus where we do all of our broadcasting from. The Summit Church is a multi-site church. We've got a broadcast campus in central Raleigh, and then we've got a little over 10 campuses that are either permanent locations or meet in schools or other areas just set up for the weekend and tear back down.
Hi, my name is Justin Rand, and I'm the broadcast audio engineer for the Summit Church at our Capitol Hills campus. So DPA sent us the de facto microphones, and it's a super flat frequency response, studio quality microphone. We tried it on our lead singers and backup vocals for the weekend worship.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength.
So while you can probably already tell that Summit Church puts a heavy emphasis on great worship, from their amazing worship leaders to their high quality sound. There's a ton of variables when it comes to creating a great worship environment, but at the heart of those variables is a great microphone. And just from the sound of Summit Church, it seems like DPA's done something pretty special with their de facto and 2028 vocal mics.
DPA as a whole, I have used their headsets now for 4 or 5 years. So moving from the headset knowledge that I've had of how great the DPA microphones are to trying out these capsules, they really were plug and play, and we were able to immediately use them and notice a difference in the quality of the sound for a lot of our vocalists on stage.
Jesus, say I speak Jesus. Demons tremble at that name, so I speak Jesus. You're everything, I speak Jesus.
When DPA designed these mics, I know they said they wanted to make them sound like the singer wasn't actually using a microphone. And listening back to the raw tracks, because I record all of our worship sets every weekend. Listening back to the raw tracks, I could totally tell what he meant by that, because it sounds like the singer's right in front of you singing.
Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Oh, worthy is your name. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise.
There's nothing added to it or taken away that from their voice. It's, you have to EQ. I think you have to EQ these mics less than the ones that we're used to. So it was easier to get a good sound out of it.
I love what Justin just said about how he noticed himself spending less time EQing these mics than he has the mics they're used to. And that's a big deal, because sometimes you find that perfect mic vocal mix that just seems to work, but a lot of other times you find yourself having to massage the EQ into a place to really make the mic have that fullness and clarity you need for the vocalist that you're working with that day. And we all know on Sunday mornings, time is everything. And the guys from Summit Church go on to point out the build quality of DPA, as well as their ability to keep the external noise shut out, so the mic is really focusing on the vocalist in front of it.
The de facto microphone capsule is significantly larger than the 2028, but they both fit really seamlessly into our existing transmitters. They both have a nice build quality and construction. They're all solid black, which really helps blend in on the stage.
They both had great noise rejection for both microphones. I think the de facto had the best, where like I wasn't picking up much bleed at all from that one.
That, as Mike G would say, that'd be okay for me, but we're talking about Jesus. Come on, let's give him praise in here. up your shout so you shout unto God with a voice of triumph. Come on, sing to him.
The 2028 had a little bit more, but it was nothing too noticeable. It was still completely usable in a live setting.
Yes, you move a mountain, and you cause the walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing impossible.
Another great thing about quality microphones is they're the type of equipment that if you buy the right one the first time, they will work for you for years and years and years and years. They don't need software updates, and it's not really based on a certain kind of technology that just got updated, so now we got to buy the new thing. So of course, lastly, the question is, what kind of church are these microphones for? What kind of church could really benefit from working with DPA?
A smaller church looking for a single microphone that's going to sound great, and your audio setup is such that your front of house console is also your monitor's console. The 2028 microphone is a great way to go. It sounds great. The vocalists will like the higher frequency response in their ears, and it just gives them that air that they need to be able to hear their voice as well. If you're doing more of a multi-console setup, you're doing a live streaming, or you're doing like a recording type session, I think the de facto is a much cleaner way to go with a natural voice presence. And then you can really dial in those EQs for a house, for a monitor, and for an online or a broadcast application.
I just love good worship. There's really something about it that just seems to transcend emotion, and it can really take you to like a new special place within a service. So a big thank you to DPA for sending out these mics to let Summit Church use, and thank you to Summit Church for giving us your insight, taking the time to implement these into your workflow, and even recording some of the audio for us to show what these DPA mics are capable of. Make sure to go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel. And of course, check out churchproduction.com for new articles and insights on everything church production. As always, I'm Marcel Patillo, and we'll see you all in the next one.